Today I'm fulfilling a childhood dream by giving these 6 major anime characters the perfect Pokemon team based on their powers and personalities. And the Will of Fire is truly strong in our first trainer, Naruto Uzumaki. You better believe it when I say he's got a team full of powerhouses. Starting with his very obvious partner Pokemon, Ninetales. It of course only makes sense that he would also use a Pokemon so similar to the Fox Demon inside of him as well. His Ninetales is a regional variant that he named Kurama, and it even has a special pair of eyes to match the legendary tailed beast as well. You see, his dad, Minato, gave it to him when he was younger, and then he just mysteriously disappeared. I wonder what that was all about. Regardless, these two started out as just an orphan and his Vulpix, and then slowly became the strongest Pokemon trainer in the entire Hidden Leaf village. And this Ninetales uses moves like Shadow Ball or Fire Blast, much like Kurama does with a tailed Beast Bomb. But of course, he is far from the only Pokemon that Naruto has, so let's pass the baton over to, yes, Shiftry. Go get him, pervy tree! And of course, a tree and leaf themed ninja with hair like that just had to be on the team. It's a match made in heaven. Now this very special Jiraiya themed Shiftry actually works really well on his team because it gets insane buffs thanks to the sunlight that Kurama can set up and then uses it to slice and dice its opponents. Naruto of course got this bad boy from the legendary Sannin who trained him, and it really shows. Yes, power-wise, but also especially because this dude is a little perf, similar to yet another Pokemon as we'll see that Naruto has as well. But what really sets him apart are his ultimate jutsu, Solar Blade, and Solar Beam. Hiruzen would be so proud. Now, I hear you guys, I just can't make Naruto a trainer without giving him at least some toads, and I totally agree, which is why this is where Poliwrath, Toxicroak, and Greninja all come into play as well. And it's really hard to overstate just how well I think these 3 fit Naruto's character. With a massive spiral on its face, Poliwrath is a great match for a literal Uzumaki like Naruto. In case you don't know, Uzumaki means spiral in Japanese. And he's also coincidentally the best defender on Naruto's team as well. You're not getting through this bulky toad because he trained with Gamabunta, and he even leaves a little lock behind when he uses his substitution like a true leaf ninja as well. And then out of nowhere, Toxicroak appears to take care of the rest of the business. Now, this bad boy is a true shinobi using the Pokemon move Sword Dance to boost his own attack. Weaving hand signs like the mad frog that he is super stealthy. It's no wonder that Naruto captured him when he visited Mount Noboku. And of course, being a super sneaky ninja, his Poison Touch ability gives him the chance to poison his enemies with every single attack that he makes. But we all know the man of the hour is Greninja. Naruto named his here after Kakashi, his sensei, and let me tell you, this water-type starter Pokemon is just absolutely perfect for this ninja-themed team. And I mean, just look how good he looks wearing that Assault Vest, an item that boosts all of his damaging moves, and in this region variant, matches the Jonin jackets from the manga as well. And just like Kakashi, this Greninja uses its ability Protean to change types before it uses its own moves, making it a master of movesets, just like the Copy Ninja and his 1000 Jutsu as well. Unfortunately, he's also a little bit of a perf, just like Pervy Tree, but regardless, he's a great Pokemon that's going to be incredibly important for Naruto to defeat some of the other trainers on this list, all of which, let me tell you, have a special starter Pokemon. And to round out Naruto's team, we also have a ninja bug that he stole from Shino, Ninjask. This guy is supersonic, using his speed boost ability to dominate the battlefield. I guess he must have learned that one from Minato, because on the battlefield, Ninjask here looks like the literal Yellow Flash. And I guess that also means that somewhere Naruto has a Shed Ninja that he used the reanimation jutsu on to summon. I guess he probably keeps that one in his PC box or something. And whoa, look, Naruto and his Ninjask are encountering a wild Pokemon. What could it be? Oh my, a wild subscribe button appeared? Quick, use your subscribe attack. Okay, that was super effective. Good thing I had Delegator here. Goodbye. And after that really impressive first team, I kind of wonder how Naruto's team will fare against the rest of the trainers today. And I even heard there is a dude on this list who uses only a single Pokemon to destroy all of his enemies. Is he just insane? Well, for now, let's see how Naruto matches up against the future king of the pirates, Monkey D. Luffy. Whoa, he's leading with his partner Infernape. Is that thing in Gear 5? Oh boy, he is not monkeying around, that's for sure. His grandfather, Monkey D. Garb, gave Luffy this little Chimchar, hoping that it would inspire him to become a great Pokemon trainer for the Marines. And well, Shanks just happened to have a super cool looking Blaziken, another fire-type starter, and once Luffy saw that, it was pretty much game over. He just had to become a great pirate now, just like Shanks, and an even better trainer as well. So he started up leveling his Chimchar and set sail to take down the greatest Pokemon trainers across the Grand Line. And so you know, Infern D Ape here has great armament hockey thanks to its ability Iron Fist. Something that we're definitely gonna see later on with one of the strongest Pokemon down the line here. This ability boosts the strength of punching moves, and in true Luffy fashion, this Pokemon here is gonna unleash some true Gum Gum Getlings on just everything that he sees. Of course, what also makes it pretty perfect is that Infernape and Luffy both take very heavy inspiration from the Monkey King, Sun Wukong. No wonder that it's gonna be one of the actual 2 Sun God themed Pokemon on Luffy's team. Luffy's Infernape here knows Drain Punch to get some health back, Thunder Punch infused with Conqueror's Haki to paralyze opponents, and with his Observation Haki, Mach Punch can hit its opponent before they even move. And then, when the time is right, Infernape unleashes a devastating Red Hawk-inspired Fire Punch to send everyone blasting off once again as well. And speaking of Red Hawks, Luffy actually has one on the team as well. Take him down, Talonflame! Luffy found a fletchling high above the clouds in Skypiea, and it just reminded him of his brother Ace way too much. So he trained it up and evolved it into a Talonflame that knows Aerial Ace. I just hope it doesn't end up with a donut-shaped hole in its chest to match that of his brother. Now, this Firebird dominates the skies and uses incredible flying type moves to absolutely destroy Luffy's rivals. Luffy's rival, by the way, not named Blue but Black, funnily enough. Who knew? And actually all of its attacks get a super big buff from its ability Gale Wings. Because who needs the ancient weapon Uranus when you have this thing raining hell from above, right? But Luffy has yet another bird as well, Wingull. Now, in classic Luffy fashion, he was just not smart or too lazy to actually evolve it, but he confused it actually for a Newsku, so he just had to get one for his team, especially since he didn't get one of the actual Newsku on his crew. Let me tell you, this guy's a real team player that really balances out Luffy's team. Since it has water and flying type coverage, it makes up for some of his Infernapes and Talonflame's key weaknesses. Plus, of course, it's also able to fetch him all the new bounty posters for the crew as well. And it's even got very powerful Observation Haki thanks to its Keen Eye ability as well. Now, that's what I call a true journalist. Though to handle some of the other trainers we haven't talked about yet, like Ichigo or Gon, Luffy needs to really kick it into 5th gear. Which is why Snorlax here is ready to rumble. Now, usually Snorlax here wears Luffy's signature straw hat and uses its great bulk and physical strength to stomp on its opponents, just like Luffy's Tankman transformation does as well. And I mean, come on, you just know that Luffy and this thing will hit it off great. The backstory here is that he noticed a small Munchlax out back of the Baratier starving for some food, and he just couldn't let that slide, and so he made sure that Sanji fed it up and then he caught it. A perfect match that also just happens to hit like a truck. Now, this Snorlax goes really crazy when he plays the belly drums of liberation, sacrificing part of his health for truly insane attack boosts. And he even holds a citrus berry that he can eat to get some of his health back after he used it, because thank goodness Luffy mistook it for a devil fruit, because it really helps this Pokemon out. And with all of these insane powers, he is truly a Joy Boy in the making, but when Luffy wants to get really silly, he chooses his Executor using its Gomu Gomu no Mi tail. Now, this thing here has all sorts of advanced haki and uses its long rubbery neck to mimic its trainer's signature moves as well. And it has a moveset that includes things like Future Sight, Expanding Force, and Protect that are just all perfectly themed around Future Sight haki, Conqueror clashes, and and even advanced armament haki. Who trained this guy? Was it Shanks maybe? I don't know. Now, the moment we've of course all really been waiting for is for the actual sun god, Nika himself, to hit the stage. Let me introduce you to Volcarona, Luffy's ultimate Pokemon that he named Big Moth, of course, because it's Luffy. Now, Kuma gave it to Luffy after blasting him away on Sabaody, and it was the greatest thing to ever happen to this rubbery boy. And even though Big Moth is admittedly a bit of a goofy name, but very Luffy-like, it still matches Luffy's love of bug catching. Quite honestly, I think that if Luffy was ever a trainer in a real Pokemon game, he would just straight up end up being one of the bug catching kids in the actual game. That is something that's actually canon. But regardless of all of that, this bug is a true nightmare to fight against. Quiver Dance, the ultimate setup move, lets this bug dance to the drums of liberation and thus boosts its attack stats and speed as well. And after awakening to his Gear 5th transformation, Luffy's Larvesta evolved into this mighty warrior of liberation, so it's no wonder the mighty giants of Elbaf end up worshipping this thing as well. And looking at that team, Luffy, you are truly something else and definitely are a massively fierce rival to some of the massive challengers left in this video. But most importantly though, can you actually hold your own against the final member of the Big Three, Ichigo Kurosaki, and his Zanpakuto-powered Pokemon team? Now, to kick things off, his starter Pokemon that he named Getsuga Tensho, of course, is no joke. The Hisuian Samurott. I mean, just look at that holo mask. He's stronger than a Vastolord, let me tell you that. No wonder that he caught this thing while he explored Hueco Mundo, home of all the holos. I mean, look at that thing. It even has a sword on its head. That's like the most Bleach thing that I've ever seen. Now, of course, he'll use it to send you packing with fierce attacks like Night Slash, and thanks to this Samurott's Shikai sharpness, it boosts the attacks of all slashing moves as well. No wonder that Ichigo actually leads with this thing, and something tells me that this isn't the last sword Pokemon that we're gonna see on his team either. And I kind of wonder if that will be enough to cut down the likes of Jolene Kujo's team or the final fighter with only one Pokemon stronger than Arceus himself. Well, to find out, we'll have to actually see his next Pokemon first that he actually named Getsuga Tensho, the Dusk Noir, which can protect the entire Soul Society. His spooky vibes and hollow cloak are actually perfect for messing with Ichigo's opponents. It can use its spiritual pressure, aka the ability pressure, to make his opponents struggle. Turns out that Urahara is a personal fan of this specific Pokemon, and he helped Ichigo catch one while training him as well. Well, to be precise, he actually trained it up from a Duskull to this ghostly beast right here. So Grimjo, you better watch out, because this ghost has one job, and it is ruining people's fun. Then of course, Ichigo also had to catch a Pokemon specifically based on his dual-bladed Zangetsu form, a shorter blade to represent his Quincy heritage, and a longer one to represent his Hollow and Shinigami bloodline as well. And that's why when he saw Dual Blade here in a random graveyard, he just had to catch it and name it Getsuga Tensho. And they can even use Sword Dance while Ichigo yells to charge up their attack stat as well. They might just be the best Pokemon for an anime protagonist with that specific skill. But still, something tells me that Ichigo has an even greater sword Pokemon waiting in the wings. Something with the strength to single-handedly destroy all of his enemies, just like the final trainer on this list. But before we can get to that, let's first move on to Getsuga Tensho here, which is his Alolan Marowak. With a hollow mask like that, his spiritual pressure is just off the roof. Also, like all Cubone, its mom died, which also means that that's the reason why Ichigo has one, because it's a little bit morbid, but Bleach and Pokemon are both like that sometimes, where there's just a lot of dead mothers. Anyways, this little freak is brutal. Based on all of these story elements, it is the perfect Pokemon to represent Ichigo's hollow side, I think. Though to represent all of his three bloodlines together, Ichigo has an even scarier Pokemon. Quincy, Hollow, and Shinigami all come together in the form of Getsuga Tensho, the mighty Hydreigon. Its very broken move, Heat Wave, unleashes flames even greater than that of Yamamoto's Bankai. And actually, shout out to the old man for spending a lot of time teaching this specific Pokemon how to use it. That's why he is the captain of the Gote 13, because he takes care of his people. Oh, also did I mention that it can Blavitate, which is pretty cool. Now, Ichigo spends a lot of time just floating around, and look, now he's got a little buddy that he can do that together with. Okay, but now we've seen dragons, ghosts, and a lot of swords, but none of them come close to being Ichigo's strongest Pokemon because that honor goes to the one, the only, the final Getsuga Tensho, aka his King Gambit. This Pokemon comes out at the very end because its Supreme Overlord ability gives it a massive stat boost if all of Ichigo's other Pokemon have already fainted. And very much like the move that it's named after, it shows up at the very last minute to save the day. And actually, Ichigo didn't catch this Pokemon, it just manifested when Ichigo's Zanpakuto did as well. Well, back then it was still a poniard, and slowly it grew to become this insanely fierce warrior. And now it uses its mighty Bankai to absolutely shatter souls. Moves like Kotao Cleave and the one-hit KO move Guillotine are absolutely the strongest things we have seen so far. And with this powerful partner by his side, Aizen, Yuhaba, or even fellow YouTuber and Pokemon World Champion Wolfie Glick don't stand a chance against Ichigo here. However, of course, the big three aren't the only great trainers around. We have still got way more to go, and they are all absolutely legendary trainers in their own rights. After all, we've still yet to meet the mysterious hero with one single Pokemon as well. But first, our next character has shorts that are pretty comfy and easy to wear and hides in the tall grass. That's mostly because he's pretty short, green, and he loves nature because Gon Freaks, I challenge you to a battle next. And he actually leads with his partner Pokemon, Sceptile. Formerly just a small Trico, Gon was gifted this Pokemon back in an egg from his father Ging, who, much like Naruto's dad, just seemed to vanish one day. But at least he left Gon a note that said, train this Pokemon to its maximum power and then hunt me down if you want to find me. And train he did. From the shores of Whale Island to the top of the Heavens Arena, Gon and his partner here trained, mastering Nen, hitting on women by accident, and then making a ton of friends along the way. Killua may be his best friend, but he will never beat Sceptile. Especially with his swift moves and physical power, he just matches Gon's freakishly athletic nature and full potential perfectly. But as we will see, there's actually another Pokemon in his final party that really shows you Gon's final form, but to get there, we first have to talk about Gon's other signature moves, Rock, Paper, and Scissors. In case you don't know, this children's game is pretty much the core of his main Nen abilities and his Pokemon as well. Golem, Scizor, and Chimecho are all based on his various Hatsu, and I'm also gonna say, in case I pronounce any of these Pokemon names wrong, I'm super used to the German names, that's what I grew up with, so if I mess anything up, please forgive me, I think that's how you pronounce them in English. Anyways, Golem, the rock Pokemon, is round and unleashes mighty earthquakes. These mimic God's Gon-like punches, of course, and they spent their time on Greed Island perfecting every single move that this Pokemon has. It really hits like a truck, and it looks oddly cute doing it. It has a weird face for sure, but it is quite endearing as well, just like this freak of nature Gon here as well. Next up, we have Scizor, who to nobody's surprise, of course, represents paper. I'm just messing with you, it's scissors. It's fast, cutthroat, and a super cool bug Pokemon all around. Now, Gon actually caught it as a Scyther when he was taking the Hunter exam, and actually used his bug catching net to do so as well. But then when he became a pro hunter, Chairman Netero actually gifted him the Metal Code to evolve this thing into its final form. It's actually kind of cute, he asked Killua to trade him to evolve both Scizor and Golem, so true friendship right there, right? And yet another perfect reason that these guys belong on his team. And yes, friendship is magic, sure, but how is that all going to help him defeat the people we haven't talked about yet, like Jolin Kujo? I mean, that woman is straight up scary. Well, he's gonna try and be peaceful about it by using his next Pokemon, Chimecho. Chimecho? Chimecho? Oh, Chimecho. I'm gonna stick with that one. It's a chime, I guess. Yeah. Well, whatever it's pronounced, besides being his paper Pokemon, it has a secondary purpose here as well, because with its bells and soft appearance, it's the perfect reminder that Gon is just a literal child. Out of all the people on this list so far, Gon actually is the age of a Pokemon trainer that they would be in the games, and he has goofy hobbies like arts and craft or fishing as well that match that pretty perfectly as well. Something that Wishcash, his next Pokemon, also does. In case you forgot, the opening scene of Hunter x Hunter is literally Gon catching a big fish. He just always runs around with a fishing rod, so you know for sure that if this was a Pokemon game, he would have a super rod and would be catching all sort of different fish Pokemon. He thought that maybe if he just caught a really huge one like this Whiscash, his dad might actually come back and love him. Well, joke's on you because your dad is gone and the only person you knew related to him is dead now, but at least not only is your dad gone, he also named you Gone, so I guess that makes it okay. Anyways, which is why hidden deep in the darkness of Gon's soul, his 6th Pokemon also takes shape. A monster whose Nen and Aura are just too great for Gon. He couldn't handle it, and neither could this Pokemon because it gained this strength at one cost: its own life. Meet RIP Kite, which is Gon's Annihilate. This manifestation of his true rage explodes. With flowing long hair, it destroys everything. Now in Pokemon lore, Primeape evolves into this form by punching so much it literally dies. But in the world of Hunter x Hunter, it just makes a pact to use all of its power points, EVs, and IVs to just destroy its own enemies. With this Pokemon in his team, Gon's power rivals even the champion of the Hunter region, Meruem. He just has to use everything in order to actually unlock it. Now, on a slightly lighter note, Jolene Cujo went to prison and happened to find a bunch of punks to form her team while in the Supermax jail Green Dolphin. She's also gunning for the title of Pokemon Master with this team, hoping to defeat her dad, a dude who left her a single Pokemon and then just dipped out of her life. And just like Ash Ketchum or just every Pokemon protagonist, these characters all really also need to just find their dads. Her partner Pokemon, Feraligatr, is a hoodlum. Straight out of the Everglades of Florida, she took this shiny Pokemon to prison with her. And when she unlocked her own stand, Stone Free, it actually evolved and turned into the ferocious gator that you see right here. Its punk rock attitude and ability of sheer force are pretty great too, because they keep the JoJo theme of having those little menacing marks appear everywhere as well. But of course her gator here isn't the only Stone Free themed Pokemon in her team, because Tangrowth, Galvantula, and Toxtricity also get in on that action as well. Tangrowth, with its massive string-like body, fits in great with Cujo and her stand Stone Free, which uses its string-like body to stretch around the battlefield. They team up, able to use their ropes to detect enemy stand users and wild Pokemon alike. Whether it's Whitesnake or Sea Viper, nobody is sneaking up on her and her teammates. But now in true JoJo fashion, Jolene's team utilizes her expert strategies to defeat enemy trainers too. By setting a lot of entry hazards like sticky webs or manipulating the enemy with thunder waves, her next Pokemon, Galvantula, is absolutely ruthless. This spider, which perfectly matches her outfit, is a sneaky addition to her team that really makes it a meta-game threat. She actually found this spider lurking around the darkest depth of the prison, and they became pretty quick pals as well. She's a Joestar after all, so weird-looking things will just flock to her. But obviously, Toxtricity is the most Jolene Pokemon around. Its rockstar attitude, chill vibes, and incredible power match her and her stand to a T. It is also a super musical themed Pokemon and works incredibly well with the songs and bands that Araki, the JoJo author, uses to name all of his characters and stands. And of course, we cannot talk about Jolene here without also talking about butterflies, which is why her next Pokemon, Butterfree, floats into battle as well. This beautiful Pokemon represents her own desire for growth and freedom, an arc that Jolene follows all the way to the top. With its wings, it flies high, and very much like Ash's Butterfree as well, it dreams of freedom and connection. That's a total Jolene move, and why she and it make such a powerful combo, plus it continues the trend of her super tricky and strategy-oriented team composition as well. Although destiny is something that every Joestar is bound by, fate just spins a thread that she cannot escape, and no Pokemon represents that better than Starmie. You see, Starmie's supernatural origins and shape are a constant reminder of the Joestar bloodline. It matches pretty nicely with the star on her shoulder and the destiny that she bends to as well. And Starmie also has a pretty fun space theme, totally syncing up with the second half of Stone Ocean's story as well. So sorry Jolene, but there are some battles that you just can't run away from. Meaning that now we have actually made it, because after talking about 5 truly incredible Pokemon Masters, the time has come now, ladies and gentlemen. The man who stands above them all with his fist held high, he cannot be defeated because he and his partner Pokemon have a really intense training regime matched by none other. 100 push-ups, 100 sit-ups, 100 squats, and a 10-kilometer run every day. Together, Saitama and his Hitmonchan rule the Pokemon world. They just stand at the absolute peak of Pokemon. Hitmonchan stats are just off the charts, not because they should be of course, but because Saitama was the one who trained it. Their iron fists literally make their punches unstoppable. Hitmonchan here also hides among the ranks of the C-list heroes, but when he unleashes his mighty Focus Punch, all will fall to his power. When he equips his boxing gloves item, it's just absolutely over. Arceus, Rayquaza, and Mewtwo, all of them bent the knee to this Pokemon's mighty punch. Let me just say, what a stud. I just hope he doesn't go bald as well, because these two are truly the ultimate Pokemon and trainer combination, but I do wonder if they're actually strong enough to defeat this ultimate Pokemon that I created. A Pokemon strong enough to consume every power in the Pokemon world. And if you're curious what I was able to come up with by creating the ultimate Pokemon, you can check out that video right here. Otherwise, thanks so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you want to see more like this, let me know. And yeah, otherwise I will hopefully see you in the next video.